What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Slightly Warped Podcast. I'm Rick, joined as always by Big Show. What's up, Show?
What's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Been off for a couple weeks. Been off for a couple weeks. So we're back talking some more NFL. Actually, finishing our conversation from the last time we talked. I know we did go offense heavy in our Mount Rushmore series. So this time around, we're talking more defense, but we're also going to get into coaching and fan bases as well. So the fast 30 minutes in podcasting is about to begin. And without further ado, I do want to go into the top overall defense of all time in the NFL. So if you had a Mount Rushmore, what would your four be? And I'm going to kick it off. I like the way I did that. Kick it off because we're talking NFL. With my four, but um, there's a slight caveat. Anyway, 85 Bears. I mean, Ryan's 46 defense is going to be talked about for years to come. They only allowed 12.4 points a game and recorded 64 sacks and forced 34 fumbles. And they did win the Super Bowl that year, 46-10 over the Patriots. Also on that list is the 2000 Ravens. A surprise on the list, I went back and forth on this, the 2015 Denver Broncos. Okay, and the reason why I put them on here is because they only allowed 44 points in a three-game stretch. And they held the Carolina Panthers to only 10 points in that crushing 50-10 Super Bowl. And excuse me, in that crushing Super Bowl 50. The Broncos didn't score 50 points. They scored like 35 or whatever, but still they beat the hell out of them. And then my fourth team is the 76 Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steel Curtain, that holds a lot to me because from 74 on to 79 is when I was first learning the game, and I would sit down with my dad and watch football. And that Steel Curtain stretch when they won those four Super Bowls, um, that's always going to stick with me. Um, it's no mystery I didn't become a Raider fan until the 79-80 season, but that's a whole different thing. But I learned under the Steel Curtain. So those are my four defenses.
What was your second one again?
The 2000 Ravens.
Okay. So I'm gonna go 85 Bears, obviously. The 2000 Ravens, those are one and two. You
Hmm.
can put them either direction.
Right.
Um, you said the 2015
Broncos.
Broncos.
Yes.
I mean, they had a hell of a Super Bowl, but I wouldn't say that they were one of the greatest defenses ever. They were kind of like a one-hit wonder type thing to me. The Seattle Seahawks, Legion of Doom or Legion of Boom, whatever they were.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I put them on there, and I'd probably stick with the 76 Dolphins or 76 Steelers as well.
Okay.
When you got a defense named the Steel Curtain, you can't really argue with that.
No, no, you are 100% correct on that. And I can see switching those Broncos out for the Seahawks because um, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the Seahawks numbers because I didn't even they didn't even register in my mind when I was putting this together. So you may be spot on there.
I mean, I just say that just because obviously they had a name. I mean, you could go back to the Purple People Eaters with the Vikings as well, but they had a name and they were dominating teams defensively.
Yeah. Um, and this
I
doesn't
would
have to
put
be one of your
I would put the
caveats, but this is one of mine.
2015 Broncos along with the 2001 Buccaneers.
Okay, okay,
I would
okay.
put them on the same level. They're kind of like a one-hit wonder defense. type of thing. I mean, they had great players, don't get me wrong, but overall defense.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, I don't know about you, and this is just one of my caveats. Um, I did ask myself, did that team win the Super Bowl that year?
Hmm.
For you to be one of the greatest, to be that Mount Rushmore, doesn't matter if you're one, two, three, or four. We're not going in any order, but you got to be one of those four up there. That's the reason why I couldn't put the Purple People Eaters up there.
Well,
Minnesota
they
did
went to the
not.
Super Bowl. They just didn't win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't bring it home.
They're the
Eh,
only other team to go to four Super Bowls and lose. Just
That's
not
right.
four straight.
Now, the next up is a little different. We're breaking it down now. So I want to go, and we touched on this, cornerbacks, and I just want to see if in your mind you made changes in the last 2, 3 weeks. And if you remember, I got Deion Sanders, Rod Woodson, Champ Bailey, and Mel Blanc. I couldn't put Revis on there. I just couldn't for whatever reason.
All right. No, I'm not changing who I said.
Okay. So you good with that? Because you had Revis on there and you
Yeah,
didn't
Revis
have
belongs on
Bailey.
there. Again,
No,
when you have
yeah.
a nickname called Revis Island and you take half of the field away, Champ Bailey didn't take half the field away.
And I can't argue with you. I'm only basing it on what I saw, and I didn't see Revis in too many games. Obviously, Bailey spent a
It's
lot of
because he
time as a
played for the
Bronco.
Jets.
Exactly.
And the fact that everybody knew who he was should say something.
Also, that's true. I mean, I can't argue with either one. So I like your pick. Um, I, I I don't think that you can really have a boneheaded pick on this because this is what's in your heart, what's in your mind.
I mean, Champ Bailey was, I mean, he was just a really, really good cornerback. Like he doesn't stand
He was
up.
a very complete cornerback. He could hit, he could tackle. Obviously, he could get the interceptions.
Yeah, but I just don't. To me, he doesn't. I mean, he played for the Broncos and the Redskins, right?
Yes.
He didn't do nothing special. He was just a really, really good player. He's like Albert Lewis to the Chiefs in the 90s.
Mm,
Albert Lewis, phenomenal cornerback, but he's not a Mount Rushmore cornerback.
okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk safeties then.
Okay.
All right. Here's my four. Hear me out. Ronnie Lott, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, and Steve Atwater. And I know you're probably thinking, what the hell is all these Broncos popping up on your list for? I mean, I'm going by what I saw, and that dude laid a lot of people out in his career.
Atwater's only known for laying Okoye out on that Monday Night Football game. That's what gave him his name. But I'm with you all the way up to him. But I would take him off and put Wolverine, Brian Dawkins on there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, also a good pick. I can see that. And we kind of got a pattern forming here. I mean, three out of every four we're in agreement on. So we're only off by
Is,
one guy.
is Atwater in the Hall of Fame?
You know what? I'm not sure. Let's look that up. Let's see. Talk amongst yourselves while I look this up. He probably isn't. Is Steve Atwater in the Hall of Fame? He is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was enshrined in 2020.
When was Dawkins enshrined? 2023,
We will find out.
22, 24? Recently.
He went in 2018.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
So That's where, and I will go back to say that's what I'm going to say why he should be on the Mount Rushmore versus Atwater. Atwater had been retired for 20 years before they put him in. Dawkins had been retired for 5 and first ballot. So, the
I
fresh
can't
on.
argue with that. I can't argue with that at all. All right. Um, this one's going to be probably a little different. We're talking linebackers here, and I
I
think
thought we
we
did
touched
this
on
all
this.
last time.
We did, but I'm going back over the corners and the linebackers because we were offense heavy, so we won't spend too much time on this because I know I went Lawrence Taylor, Dick Buckus, Ray Lewis, and Mike Singletary. And if I'm correct, you didn't have Singletary. Who did you have on there?
I don't remember. I don't have my paper with me.
Okay, I know we
But
were
I'm
off by
sure I
one
had
on that.
Singletary on there.
Okay, then it may have been Ray Lewis or Dick
Now,
Buckus.
Ray's on there
We
for
we
sure.
we were off by one on that one. I remember because I've got Butkus, Ray Lewis, Singletary, and obviously LT. Um,
I bet you I did LT, Ray Lewis, Buckus, and Derek Thomas. That's probably what I did.
could have been,
I probably
could have
put
been.
DT on there.
All right, now we're going to tread into some new territory here because this one we didn't do. Your Mount Rushmore of teams, and it doesn't matter if they were all offense or all defense. These four teams are teams that made statements for whatever season or seasons they were out there, and um, they're just always going to be remembered in the NFL. So my first one is the 72 Dolphins. Obviously, they went undefeated. I mean, you can't do any better than that. Everybody that was put in front of them, they beat.
So are we talking best teams overall or best teams in one particular season?
A combination of both, and you'll see that when I go through my others on the list. The 1989 San Francisco 49ers. This roster is nothing but Hall of Famers. Obviously, you have Montana. If he went down, Young was there. Receiver Jerry Rice. You had Roger Craig, Ronnie Lott. Uh,
I
uh,
don't think Steve Young was there in '89.
mm, I'll have to look that up because I could swear he
I
was.
think
He
I'm pretty
never
sure he
played.
was with Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I don't think he went over there till '90 or '91.
Okay. I know he didn't play, but because that was Montana all the way. And that was a Bill Walsh. And keep in mind, Bill's name is going to come up here again in a little bit. Um, I think in the playoffs, they beat the Vikings and the Rams by a combined total of 50 points before they put up that double nickel on the Broncos in the Super Bowl. They went up ahead of my 94 49ers. And I love this team. This team was also stacked. This team did have Steve Young. This was the year Young won the Super Bowl. Uh, Almost a mirror image of the 89 49ers, but not quite up there. But yeah, this was that year that they got Dion. They had Ken Norton Jr. and a couple other people. Obviously, Rice was there. George Seifert had took over for Bill Walsh. Basically he was running Bill's offense with Bill's people. Uh, but they didn't make it because of the 89. The 85 Bears, obviously, that team, when you start off the season and you market yourselves with a music video and you let everybody know, yeah, we're winning it all, and you do it in dominating fashion, hell, I got to give you props. And my fourth is that 1999 Greatest Show on Turf, the St. Louis Rams. I think they had Warner, Marshall Falk, Isaac Bruce, and Torrey Holt. They were fun to watch throughout the season, and that's why I like them. Now, the reason why I said it's going to be a little different, I think year four, we're not going to be off by one this time. We might be off by two, maybe even three.
Shit, maybe even 4.
Okay.
Um, I think the '72 Dolphins is a cop out just because they're the only undefeated team. I get it. So I'm gonna give them their spot
I
on
do
the
want to make a
Rushmore.
caveat. I didn't pick that Patriots team from 1990. What year was it?
2007.
2000, was it 2007? I did
Yeah.
not go with them, who also went undefeated, but they didn't win the chip.
Yeah, I don't
So
care about the Super Bowl because that's not a criteria for having the best season. Because I mean, let's go back and look at teams that when the Giants won against those Patriots, they didn't have the best season, but they won the Super Bowl.
that's why I can't say the Patriots were the greatest team that year.
No, why? Because they didn't win the
Yeah.
Super Bowl?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're the greatest team, why didn't you win?
No, that's yours. So I got to understand what the criteria is. Are you saying the best team to win a Super Bowl in a season, or are you saying
No,
the best team overall
the best team
that had a really good season? Because if that's the case, the
overall.
98 Vikings need to be on there. The 99 Rams obviously is a good one. I mean, the
Okay.
99 Vikings broke records, or the
And
98.
that's the reason why we have these polls, because I expected our answers to be different because
It's not the interest. I need to
we
know the
don't
actual criteria because your criteria is they have to win the Super Bowl.
my criteria. Again,
Right.
you hit it on it. Mine, though, that was just mine. Yours may be different. Your mileage may vary. This is just the Mount Rushmore of NFL teams. What four teams would you put on there? Your reasoning may be 100% different than mine, but these are four teams that you like. All right, these are the coldest teams in my eyes to ever do it.
I'm going to say, I mean, then these are the seasons that I actually watch from beginning to the end, and
Uh
I'm
huh.
going to just go with that. So I'm taking the 72 Dolphins off
Okay.
um, because I wasn't even alive yet. I was born in 74. So I didn't get to watch that season. Uh, but I'm going to go with the 2007 Patriots because, that's Randy Moss broke record. Brady won broke records. I
Okay.
mean, they were unstoppable. Granted, the Giants were the better players that day, but they won by a field goal. So give them to them. That game could have went to anybody. The '98 Vikings, like I said, I'm throwing them on there just because. Yeah, again, they lost by a field goal. Should have went to the Super Bowl that year and played. Who would they play? They would have played the Broncos in '98.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a much better Super Bowl than the Falcons versus the Broncos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
99 Rams, greatest show on turf. That was a really fun team to watch. 85 Bears, great, good. But I'm gonna throw. I'll probably okay. Hmm. Man, I could go with the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs. I mean that was the greatest show on not AstroTurf, but greatest show on grass. I mean they were
Was that
dominant.
who was the quarterback that year?
Patrick Mahomes. That was his first year as a starter. He threw
Okay,
50
so it
touchdowns and
wasn't what's his name that Mahomes
his,
took over for.
no, Alex Smith's last year was 2017.
Okay, that's why I asked, because I wasn't sure.
It was the year that we lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. It's the first AFC Championship game Pat went to.
Okay, was that also the year that the Chiefs had that wild game against the Rams where it was like 52
Yes,
to 49? Yeah, that was
yes,
a great season for them. I mean, they were
yes.
putting up numbers like
They
crazy.
had no defense, but
Yeah.
offensively they were on fire, and it was just a fun team to watch. So mine is more how entertaining were those teams
And
on
I
my
get that.
well, that's what I picked.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that criteria. Um, so that puts us into this is going to be a little different. Coaching. If you had a Mount Rushmore of coaches, who would you have? I'm
Again, are you picking coaches that have only won the Super Bowl?
um they have the ones on my list. I mean, I guess let me tell you who I got. Bill Belichick. I mean, as much as I don't care for the Patriots, you have to give him his props. And I hate to say that, but you do. Don Shula, not just because of the 72 Dolphins, that man was there for years and they constantly had winning records. Bill Walsh, who practically changed the way offenses ran with that West Coast style, and John Madden. And I just put that up there because my heart, not my head. That's my guy, always.
I wouldn't say John Madden is a Hall or is a Mount Rushmore coach. He is a Mount Rushmore figure in the history of the NFL. I'll give him that.
Okay.
Um, I wouldn't say he was better than Vince Lombardi or better
Ironically,
than
that's who I didn't put on the list because I went
right
with
or
Madden.
better
So,
than Paul Brown, you know. Um, who's that's pretty much everybody's standard, Belichick, Brown, Shula, and Lombardi. But
and
you
I
know,
guess you could,
I'm gonna give Belichick, like if you said best defensive minded coaches, I would say Belichick. I think Belichick is a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He probably deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore because of how many championships he's won as a head
uh-huh.
coach and a assistant coach. I mean, but Parcells was just as good.
Yes.
You you put Parcells in the same pot that Belichick was in, Parcells would have seven Super Bowls. Probably more. He probably wouldn't have lost to Seattle, or if he was. Well, I guess Seattle's the one that lost that game, but you know what I mean. He
Yeah.
wouldn't have made them decisions. But I'll leave Bill Belichick on there. He's a good coach. I'm gonna throw Marv Levy in that aspect. Any guy that can take a team to four straight Super Bowls and they lose every single one takes some
Damn.
heart.
I didn't even
Um,
think about Marv Levy. Yes, that is a
I'm
good
gonna,
one.
I'm gonna put him on there. Um, I got to put my man Big Red Andy Reid on there. He deserves to be on there. He's won three as a head coach, and I think one or two as an assistant. I think he won with the Green Bay Packers
Yes.
uh, when they won. And then my fourth one, I mean, you can throw it in the dark. I guess Vince Lombardi, the damn Super Bowl is named after him, so I guess I'll throw him on
Yeah.
there.
Um, you know who we didn't mention? Tom Landry.
I don't think he belongs on Mount Rushmore. I didn't mention him for
I
a
don't
reason.
either. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't pick him either, but I think
He
that,
was a great coach in his era in the 70s, you know.
yeah,
Um, I mean, but Jimmy Johnson did just as much,
true. Very true.
so
And he ain't on that list.
no.
No. Okay. Now, closing it out, we're going to the fan bases. Who's your Mount Rushmore of the fan bases? I'm going to tell you who I went with. Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, that whole America's team thing. Uh, love them or hate them, it is what it is. They're on there. Pittsburgh Steelers. Their fans travel well at games. The Green Bay Packers. That's a diehard community, and I love the fact that throughout all of sports, the Big Four, not just football, this is a fan-owned team. That team's never moving. Any one of our teams can just up and move at any time, and that sucks. Packers aren't. Not going to happen. Fan owned. And Raider Nation. And as much as you hate my squad, everywhere you go, every city you live in, there's always that one guy who roots for the Raiders. And
I don't hate your
we've
squad.
got,
I respect your squad.
I appreciate that. We've got fans everywhere, and you can tell that we're diehard fans because we've went through 23 years of frustration right now, and we're still there. I mean,
Man, that doesn't mean nothing. The Chiefs went 50 years of frustration before they won their next Super Bowl, and they never stopped having fans. I mean, and hell, your team has moved 4 or 5 times since y'all's last Super Bowl.
That is true, but those are my four: Cowboys, Steelers, Packers, Raiders.
So my four are going to be. So the word fan is short for fanatic. And when I think of fanatic, I think of, you know, the people dressing up and the game paint on their face and,
Oh, so
you
you
know,
going with the nation too? Okay, got you.
different costumes and things like that. So yeah, Raiders are definitely on that list. But I gotta go with the Dog Pound in Cleveland.
Another fan base who has had some frustrating years, but they continue to have fans.
Yeah, then it's kind of a weird. I mean, I guess I got to put the Cowboys in that category just because the quote unquote America's team. Um, I guess. Um, and then that fourth one, man, is just like I wouldn't. I mean, iconic fan base, Green Bay Packers. Okay, iconic fan base, Steelers. Yeah, they travel, big whoop. Um, I mean, but the Eagles fans are just as fanatical. Patriots fans are just as fanatical. I mean, my squad's fans are just as fanatical. So I guess I'll put my fourth one as the Packers just to, you know, stay in the good graces of the NFL gods. But I don't,
I wouldn't have
I-
discredited you if you would have went with either the Chiefs or the Patriots. The only reason why neither one of them made my list, and just so you know, I respect the Chiefs too. I feel, and this is watching both of those teams on the come up and then win multiple championships, they accumulated more fans after that. Just from what I've seen, y'all could be wrong, but it just seemed like there were more bandwagon fans than
2013, our fans, or 2014, I forget what year it was, we set the record for the loudest stadium and it still stands. That was before Patrick Mahomes.
oh, I agree.
Andy
I
Reid
mean,
was here. So, and then I
that was a
remember
loud
being
fan
this.
base.
Well, I mean,
But
that's fanatical. That's what
yeah,
I'm talking about. And then I also remember in those, break your heart, want to kick your mama and your dog, 90 Chiefs.
a- and that's
We
why I
were,
can't discredit the Chiefs
and
because
nobody wanted to come into Arrowhead.
yeah,
Them
because
old
y'all
school
had
players, all them Hall of Famers we talked about,
yeah,
I would always say Arrowhead was one of the tougher places to play.
y'all had some dominant defenses, and
Now,
Marty would always get you to the big dance, but break
have
your
we
heart
picked,
once you got in there.
have we picked up some fans since the Super Bowl? Of course, all teams do. All
True.
teams do. But, it's not like we were, the Jets or the Cardinals, you know, or
Right.
something like that. Or the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have a hard time actually filling their stadium because there's so much other shit to do in Florida besides a football game losing. So
Yeah.
that's
I feel you.
that's my take on it. Oh shit, what I do? Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Blacked out.
You're good. You're good. Before we wrap it up, I do want to ask you this. This was not on the board for the questions, but since we're, going down that NFL road, let's say
Hmm.
Big Show got into some money and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm going to an NFL game in person this year. Not a Chiefs game, because you're a Chiefs fan. What stadium would you want to go to watch a
Oh,
game?"
good question. I used to always want to say the Packer Stadium, but I have a buddy, a really good friend of mine that lived in Green Bay, and he said the seats in the Green Bay Stadium suck ass.
The
So
bleachers, they're not seats. Yeah.
yeah, I probably wouldn't go there. Man, that's a good. And it can't be like the Chiefs playing this team.
If that was the case, that'd be great. But outside of Arrowhead, what
Oh,
stadium would
okay.
you want to go
I
see?
would absolutely love to go to a Denver game in Denver.
I've been to them, both Old Mile High and Invesco or whatever they call it now.
Mhm.
It does get very raucous, so
I
you
would
would
love
enjoy
to do.
yourself.
I would like to do that. I mean, but I wouldn't mind going to Buffalo or Baltimore or hell, even Philly.
On mine, I would like to go to Raymond James Stadium for the Buccaneers. It looks like they really get into it, especially when the Bucks are winning, obviously. And that would be good. Or perhaps maybe a Steeler game. I'm intrigued by, their fans as well. So either one of those is the first thing that pops into my mind for a game. Just thought I'd throw that out there to, close it out.
There you
Do
go.
you have anything before we get on out of here this week?
I do not.
All right.
Just glad
Well,
we was able to record.
absolutely. We're back, folks. And I do want to throw this out there then to everybody that's listening on whatever podcast feed or YouTube that you're watching us on. I want to know from you guys, what stadium would you want to go watch a football game in? It doesn't have to be, your favorite team. I mean, if it is, that's great. Uh, Throw it out there and let us know why too. Don't just say I want to go to the Cowboy Stadium. Um, I didn't go with Buffalo because that stadium is no longer, and we don't know what we're going to get with the new stadium.
Um, I would also say I would throw Detroit or Dallas in on Thanksgiving.
Oh, oh,
That would
yeah,
be a fun game to go to.
that would, especially now that Detroit is actually formidable. You know,
Yeah, I mean, either way, I just think just being in the atmosphere
yeah,
would be fun.
nice. As always, Big Show, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming in and sharing this time with me. Thanks to all of you guys for listening to us rant, talk, capitulate, all that good stuff. And make sure if you're not
Richard used the
subscribed, that
school
way you don't
word.
miss it. Huh?
I said Richard used the school word.
Hey, I know my ABDs and 124s. I got my education. All right, gang. We will see you again next week, God willing. Please stay positive, stay blessed. Big Show, take us on out.
See y'all next week. Love each other. Tomorrow's not promised.